Okay, the Unfuck Yourself Academy is officially open for enrollment. Doors are open for the next 7 days. So from today, November 19th, 2023, until November 26th. If you are on the UYA waitlist, you have a very special code in your email that is valid for the next 48 hours. For a very special price of $400 off of the Academy. If you are on just my email list, you also have a very special code that is waiting in your email for $300 off the Academy for the next 24 hours only. And that's 24 hours from today, the 19th, as I'm recording this. We will link everything you need in the show notes, and let's get into day 5, the very last day of the free and live workshop, Get Unfucked. Yes, okay, let's get into it. So day 5, full embodiment of our higher self. Okay, so what is our higher self, first of all? Like, what the fuck even is our higher self and what is going on? So our higher self is us. Our higher self is us. It is just the highest frequency version of us in this lifetime, okay? So it is like the highest potential that we can access. It's the version of us with no limitations, no blocks, no fears, no self-doubt, no nothing other than complete and ultimate love for ourself. That is our higher self. Now, what we get wrong a lot of the times is thinking that our higher self is out here or above us or over here or somehow, some way better than us or unreachable or untouchable. When in reality, our higher self is just one decision away from us at any given moment, at any given time. Remember the quantum field of possibilities that exist that we talked about on day 1? Our higher self is one of those quantum fields. The fullest embodiment of our higher self is one of those quantum field potential realities. Now, how do we get there? How do we get to that potential reality? We have to think about what our higher self would do, okay? So you're gonna Regina George that shit. So you know how in Mean Girls, Regina George cut the holes in her boobs and everyone cut the holes. Regina George wore army pants and flip-flops and everyone wanted to wear army pants and flip-flops. Like anything Regina George did, everyone then made that decision to go do also. That's gonna be our higher self. Your higher self is gonna be your own personal Regina George, okay? So you're gonna pick one thing today, one thing that you are desiring in your life, okay? Now, what is higher self who already fully embodies that thing and has that thing? Why and how and what are they doing and what are they feeling to create that? So what are they saying yes to? What are they saying no to? What are they, what's their day-to-day look like? What are they wearing? Where are they shopping? Blah, blah, blah. Now I hear your thoughts. You're gonna be like, well, Allie, my higher self's like a rich bitch. Like, you know, I literally like do not have the cash to go spend what my higher self would spend. Great question, glad you asked. So when I was super broke, like physically, like literally zero physical dollars, I decided my higher self really just wanted to be able to shop at Whole Foods or like a place like Air One because I lived in LA and that kind of grocery store all the time. Now, literally, my card would have actually physically gotten declined if I got everything at Whole Foods. So what I did was I would just go to Whole Foods and get like a protein bar. I would go to Whole Foods and get a banana. Like I would just go to Whole Foods and get like one thing, even if it was like a, 17-cent banana or whatever. I would go and I would just get one thing. And me doing that action and being in that energy was helping me get into that version of my higher self in that moment. Because if we wait for our external reality to shift until we make a decision, we're gonna be waiting for a long time because it never will, because we're always gonna feel the same. because our feelings and our emotions are what create our external reality. We don't manifest what we want, we manifest how we feel. One more time. We don't manifest what we want, we manifest how we feel. So, if we are manifesting how we feel, then that's what we will continue to create in our lives. Okay, so what I would do is I would go to Whole Foods and I would like just get a protein bar, I would just get a banana, I would just like be in that energy of my higher self, like shopping where she would shop for a moment. And then what happened is that is like, it's the compound effect. You do it and you do it again and you do it again and you do it a little more. And then because you're doing a little more, your reality starts to shift, and then you're doing a little more, and then your reality starts to shift, and then you're doing a little more, and then your reality starts, and so on and so on and so on, until one day you fucking wake up and you're just living it. You're literally just living it. And now we have Central Market here. Who knows Central Market if you're in Texas? I don't know if Central Market's other places too, but obsessed, fucking obsessed. And it's basically like better than Whole Foods to me, but I can shop there for all the groceries. I can go to Whole Foods and shop for all the groceries if I, want to go there and shop for all the groceries. I can like literally get groceries anywhere I want to fucking get groceries at this point. So it worked. And I couldn't always do that, right? So you've got Love Central Market, right? The fucking best. Like you can't beat it. It's better than Whole Foods for sure. So it works because you're constantly now making decisions as if your higher self would make. So what we're going to do is you're going to create your ideal character. Pick one thing right now, one thing that you want to either feel in your life or want to create in your life or whatever it is. Like what's one thing when I say that, what's the first thing you think of? Now we're going to create a character. You're going to make up a character, okay? And this character is going to have these things. But now, what does this character have to embody to be able to create these things? What beliefs, what emotions, how do they have to feel about themselves? What are they saying yes to? What are they saying no to? So, for example, plot twist, the character is that you're making up. You're actually just channeling your higher self. But sometimes it's hard for us to connect to like, oh my gosh, like that good of a thing could happen to me. So until we work through those beliefs, you're just going to make up a character. But what you're actually doing is you're actually just like secret. You're actually just channeling your higher self. So, for example, if you are creating a character around someone who manifests and aligns with a healthy romantic relationship, okay? With a healthy romantic relationship with, I'm going to use women as an example, or people who are into men or attracted to men as an example, just because that's the majority of everyone in here. And if you're not, then just flip it. Okay, so if you are desiring a healthy, masculine man, oh no, is my voice glitching to anyone else? Let me know. I hope not. I'll wait till someone lets me know if my voice is glitching. Oh, Nikki has joined the chat. No, my voice, okay, we're good. Okay, so if you are someone who desires a healthy masculine man to embody traits of loyalty, to prioritize you, to embody a healthy masculine energy, then you are going to create a character who aligns with that thing. Remember, we all want these things. We don't manifest what we want, we manifest how we feel and how we're being toward ourselves. So are you an energy match? Are you making your energy an energy match to be a magnet to that thing? So you're going to create the character that has that thing already. So this character definitely respects themselves. This character commits to themselves. This character has a high standard. This character, what are they saying yes to? What are they saying no to? Right? So now that you have gotten a blueprint of this character, now you're going to make every single decision in your life based off that character. So if the guy calls you at 12 a.m. to come over, and you don't want that. Like, we all have an era where like that's a fun time, but if you're not in that era anymore and you no longer desire that kind of relationship, will you then go over there? No, because your character wouldn't do that. Because your character is desiring someone to commit to her and court her and or him and create that kind of reality. So that version of you who has that, would you answer the 12 a.m. booty call? Probably not. Now, if you're in the era of that's like the fun time, that's like what you want to be doing, then do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, nothing's wrong or right, bad or good. Like, that's an era that everyone has. But if you're not in that era anymore and you want to move past that era, but you keep taking actions that are keeping you in that era, but like emotionally want to be past that era, then you taking the actions to still be in that era is never going to get you to the next era. It won't do it. So the actions you take every single day are directly manifesting the next days of your life, okay? We have 3 parts of our brain, without getting too much into a science lesson and using scientific words. Basically, one's in charge of our thoughts, the other one's in charge of our emotions, and the other one's in charge of our physical actions. So if we align our thoughts and our emotions and our physical actions with the version of ourself who has created the thing that we desire to have in our life, then literally it is impossible, after doing it, feeling it, being it over and over and over again, day in and day out, it is impossible, fucking impossible for you to not then create that reality. I've done this over and over and over again. When I decided I started out just giving people medium reads and just intuitive reads in my business/brand. When I decided, oh my gosh, I'm going to make a business out of this. I'm going to make a brand out of this. You know what I fucking did? I had nothing going on, but I would wake up and I would act like I had a full day ahead. I would get the fuck ready. I would get dressed like I was gonna do a session with someone. And I would sit down and I would open up my laptop and I would just act like I was fucking doing something. I wasn't. But in my own reality, I was like creating an energy where I was like busy in a balanced way, doing what I loved. Okay? 3 years later at this point, but not even a year later from when I was doing that, booked, like totally booked. And now I'm booked out like 4 to 5 months in advance sometimes. When I was doing more private sessions, I was booked out 4 to 5 months in advance. And so I literally took what I desired a reality to be, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna act like this is my reality now. When I would be on planes, like I'm from Pennsylvania, I lived in California for a while. I'm talking to go fly to Pennsylvania for Christmas, see my family and everything. Whenever I would fly back from Pennsylvania to California, on the plane seat that I could barely afford, I would be in the energy of, oh my God, like I'm sitting first class, even though I was in economy in the middle seat all the way in the back. I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting first class. Like I'm getting flown to LA for a business project that I'm working on. And I would just like be in this energy. Literally last year, I now live in Dallas, Texas. I started having to go back to LA for an actual business project that I'm actually working on. But years ago, I was just straight up Delulu land, like just deciding that was like a thing in my reality. I did not wait for any physical proof of anything to feel something. I was like, I'm going to embody this feeling and act on this feeling now. So going back to that version of you who desires that healthy masculine man, that healthy relationship where the person's committing to you doing whatever, XYZ, whatever it is that you desire, are you answering the call at 11 p.m. to go to some dude's house? No. And again, nothing wrong with that if you're in that era. If you don't want to be in that era, you got to stop making those decisions. You're going to say no. So you're going to Regina George, your this character. Whatever she would do, you are going to do. Now you're going to get a very, 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 very clear blueprint of what that character looks like, and not looks like physically, but like feels like, what they're saying yes to, what are they saying no to, what are they wearing, where are they shopping, how are they feeling about themselves, how are people treating them. Get anything that you can think of. Imagine if you were literally writing a character in a TV show. Write out this character as if you're like creating a character for a TV show, you're writing a script. Then anything that character would do, you're going to do. Remember that story about boundaries I told you? How I like had this thought of like, oh my gosh, I just can't wait till I wake up one day and have all these incredible boundaries. And then I had the realization of like, wait, I've never had boundaries my whole entire life. My brain is not wired like that. How the fuck am I just gonna magically have boundaries? I'm not going to. I have to get really, really clear on this character version of Allie who has really good boundaries. What's she saying yes to? What's she saying no to? How is she feeling about herself? How does she see the world? What does she feel like is going on? And then, as the universe always does, I had a great opportunity that night to practice boundaries. And someone asked me to hang out who like, I never really wanted to hang out with her. I would just hang out with her to people please her. And if I didn't hang out with her, she'd get like really mad at me. And so like, I just like didn't want to hear it. So I would just like hang out with her, even though it was really draining. Anyway, she asked me to hang out and I didn't want to. / I had a commitment to like watch movies and like order food and like sit on my couch. So didn't want to not commit to myself because I didn't want to ditch myself, because if I ditch myself, then I'm putting that energy into my field, and then that's making me a match for other people to ditch me. So one, didn't want to do that. Two, I was like, fuck, like this is my chance to practice these boundaries that I just created a character for last night. And so it was so hard. Nothing in my nervous system was wired to say no yet, but I had to be strong. I had to be strong and I had to go. The version of Allie who has boundaries would just say no unapologetically and she wouldn't fucking care. Like she wouldn't feel bad. She wouldn't feel bad. So I said no and it was like really hard. I was like, no. It was like really, really hard for me. But I was one decision closer to my higher self. I was my higher self in that moment. We cannot solve a problem from the same frequency that problem was created. We can't build a life with better boundaries still having no boundaries. We can't build a life with more self-confidence coming from a place of trying to just access external things because we don't feel worthy without them. What is the version? Write the character. Who is this character who has the thing you want? How are they being, feeling, doing, whatever. You're going to make those decisions as if you're them. That is the quickest fucking way to quantum leap your whole entire life. I do it all the time. Right now, I'm asking, what is the multi-millionaire version of Allie doing with her money? Well, she has a bookkeeper. She has other accounts for it to go and make more money. She has this, that, and the other thing. She has this amount saved. And so I realized like, oh shit, like I didn't have a bookkeeper. I didn't have like a extra, I have a few accounts, but like nothing crazy. I didn't have extra accounts for it to go. I didn't have like these things to make it grow more. And so I was like, fuck, like I am not taking the actions of multi-million-dollar version of Allie. I've got to start to take those actions now. So I started to take those actions. I got a bookkeeper and recently. And I'm recently now just like working on like where this is going to go here and where that's going to go here. And now I am creating space for this new energy to come in. I did the energetic work around it. Okay. I feel emotionally connected to it. I feel energetically like I already am that. Then I didn't have the physical room for it though. There was nowhere physically for it to fucking go. So it can't come if there's nowhere physically for it to go and if you're not taking physical action also. So remember, we're energetic beings in a physical body. We need the emotional energetic shift, and then we also need the physical action for it to go somewhere and to actually create it. So I started to actually do things for it to go somewhere. And so stay tuned. We'll see how long it takes. But I'm constantly doing this with every single thing. Like anything that the next level of embodiment of my higher self is doing, I'm going, okay, how's that version of me feeling? What actions are they taking? And I start feeling those feelings and taking those actions now. Things that would take decades, I compress into weeks, months, like less than a year because of this tool, okay? Now, in Unfuck Yourself Academy, there are 4 to 5 modules. I think there's 5 in this phase. There's like 5 modules about manifesting, accessing the highest version of yourself now. And there's many other things and tools and steps and things that we can do and take to make this process even quicker. But we're gonna start here. We're gonna start by creating this character. Pick one thing for now that you are desiring. Now, remember, desire is a Latin derivative meaning of the Father. So if you desire it on a soul level from that heart space, it is already yours. If it's already yours, that thing is not out here. So there's no going to chase it. There's no need to go and chase it because everything you need is already within you. We fuck ourselves when we think we don't have the tools that it takes and we think we have to go and search for it somewhere else. No, it's all just about unlocking it, getting the tools to unlock it within you. The neuroscience tools to reprogram your brain to be in alignment with your soul potential so that you can unlock it within yourself. Because it's already in there, it's just been kind of like locked away because our brain has been wired with limiting beliefs and different things. When our brain's wired with limiting beliefs and things are telling us that we can't be that or can't have that or can't do that or can't access it, we're not a match to access it. We've locked it away. We use the neuroscience tools to rewire the brain to unlock that potential that is already there. So everything that you desire from that authentic, obviously authentic soul, heart space, it is already yours. There are, of course, things we desire from not an authentic space. Everything that's like a soul intuitive desire, it is already yours. All you get to do is unlock it using this character being one of them. You're always just one decision, one feeling, one choice away from that version of yourself at any given time. And then the compound effect comes into play. So then you're feeling the feeling, you're thinking the thought, you're feeling the feeling. Because you feel the feeling, you take the action. The next day, you're thinking the thought, you're feeling the feeling. Because you feel the feeling, you take the action. The next day, you're thinking the thought, you're feeling the feeling. Because you're the feeling, you take the action. And then day after day, it adds up, 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 and then it creates overflow into your life. The overflow is your physical reality actually shifting. Now remember, people fuck themselves the most when we forget the bamboo tree analogy. Remember that analogy where a bamboo tree grows underground for 6 to 7 years and its roots are planting deep into the ground, but no one fucking knows. Nobody can see it. It looks like nothing's happening. Then one day, 6 to 7 years later, that bamboo tree sprouts the fuck up 60 to 70 feet. And you're like, what the fuck? That's an overnight success. No, it wasn't. That bamboo tree was really planting its shit in the ground for like 6 years. That's how energy work works when it's manifesting the physical reality. The energy work is the roots. The roots are rooting. The roots are planting. The roots are getting really, really strong. Once your energy is strong enough to be able to hold the physical thing, then the physical thing seems like it shifts overnight, but it was weeks or months or a few years of that energy work. So people fuck themselves when they try it for a week and they go, it's not working. This doesn't work, I'm done, and go back to just being a victim to life or going back to feeling powerless. The bigger the manifestation, the stronger your energy has to be to hold it. That is why people who win the lottery end up being more broke after they win the lottery, because their energy has not been programmed to hold on to that amount of money because they have not had the prior years or months or whatever to be able to practice holding that energy for that same amount of money that they just made in the lottery. So that's why they go broke. It's like going to the gym, trying to lift a 500-pound weight, but not knowing how to lift a 20-pound weight. You're gonna fall the fuck over and crumble. So we gotta train our energy. The bigger the thing that we desire, the more we're gonna have to train our energy and hold that energy for. And what fucks people is they give up like a week in. They're like, yeah, no, this doesn't work. Like I'm not, I was making $500 last month and I'm not making $2 billion yet, so it doesn't work. And I'm like, that's not how this works. We've got to reprogram the brain. We've got to retrain the electromagnetic field and your energy to be able to hold something so big physically like that. Okay, so you're gonna create this character. Then you're gonna remember that this is not outside of you. Anything your soul desires, you already have within you. It is already fucking contracted to you. Your soul already written it in a contract with Source before you even came here on earth. It's already yours. There's no competition. There's no sense of competition. It like gives me the cringies is when people feel like they want to compete with each other, which like, hello, I used to always do that like with dance. But when I woke up to this, I was like, oh my God, there's no sense of competition because no one can steal your soul contract. And just because your friend made more money before you, or just because your friend had a baby before you, or just because your friend, they didn't take all the babies of the world. They didn't take all the money of the world. They didn't take your baby or your money or your this or your that. They didn't take it. That's their soul contract. You have yours. And Source isn't mean. Like Source wasn't like, I'm going to give you and you the same soul contract, but if you get there first, you and another person's fucked. No, so stop comparing yourself. There's no point to compare yourself to anybody because they have a completely different soul contract than you. It actually makes no fucking sense at all. That doesn't even make sense. They can't beat you to your soul. Like they can't beat you to your soul contract. It's yours. The only way you wouldn't align with your soul contract is if you let your limiting beliefs run your life and you step into your free will and just are in your free will your whole life. You're the only person that could stop you from that. No one else. No one else. Nothing's a fucking competition ever. Ever, ever, ever. Nothing's ever a competition. Just because someone got somewhere before you literally means nothing. They didn't take all the money from you. They didn't take all the brand ideas from you. They didn't take all the business opportunities from you. They didn't take like anything from you. You have your own soul contract and no one can take it from you. No one can beat you to it. The only way you wouldn't be on it is if your limiting beliefs are running your life and you're not doing anything to shift them. It's up to you. You are the main character of your own reality. You get to fucking decide. You get to fucking decide. So how about we spend less time on social media from a place of thinking, oh, like they beat me to that, or oh, they got that first, or comparing. When in reality, remember from day 2, if you're witnessing something in someone, you have that within you too. So even if you're witnessing like a really, really good piano player, maybe it's not that you're supposed to be a really, really good piano player, but how talented that piano player is at playing piano, you have that same level of talent in whatever it is your own unique soul path is. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're witnessing extreme talent in people, it doesn't mean like, oh my God, I have this thing for like people who can sing so well. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I just love to scroll on TikTok and listen to people like sing. I'm like, wow, not really a singer. One thing that I truly wish that I could do, but it's not fully in the cards for me in this life. But I'm just witnessing their greatness, right? So that means that same greatness I'm witnessing in them singing, I have in my thing that I do, in my thing that I train in. See what I'm saying? So even if you're witnessing a level of creativity or greatness in someone, it doesn't necessarily mean like you're like need to go sing or be a piano player. It means what they're doing, the level of greatness / creativity that they have, then you already have that within you in whatever it is that you are here to do. Good, let me see. How do we know if a desire is from soul or ego? Really good question. And in Unfuck Yourself Academy, we really dive into this, and plus going through 6 weeks of intuition training, you'll know the difference between ego and soul and how they speak and communicate. But to give you like a easy, simple answer, ego is going to come from a lack, and ego desire is going to come from a lack, feeling lack. So ego desire is going to be like, I need a lot of TikTok followers. I need a lot of money. I'm lacking. I need, lack. A soul desire is going to have this urge of, instead of feeling like they want TikTok followers, it's going to feel like, I just feel this pull to just share whatever I need to share with as many people as going to listen. See what I'm saying? And a soul desire is a desire to create a level of abundance in their life, but already feeling abundant, you know, from a place of already feeling abundant. But our ego is good though. We do not want to kill the ego. A lot of spiritual teachers are going to tell you the ego's bad. No, our soul also chooses our ego. Our ego is so good. Okay? So our ego might say, I want a lot of TikTok followers, or I want, quote, fame. Soul picked that ego because soul desires to get a message out to as many people who are going to listen. So until ego wakes up to the soul, the ego's still indirectly getting the soul where it wants to go. Maybe not from the most balanced place, but it is still getting it on that track. Do you see what I'm saying? So ego is good. We don't want to kill the ego. The ego is here to help us. Our soul also chooses that. If ego wants a lot of money because ego feels lack, or ego feels like money is going to make them more worthy, soul might just have decided in contract that soul's going to have a lot of money in that lifetime to be able to help more people or to be able to do whatever. And so soul picked that ego, so ego could kind of like be that motivator until we woke up to also our soul. See what I'm saying? So we don't want to kill the ego. We just want to get to the underlying soul desire in the ego. Okay, let me see. I saw some other questions coming through. Let me see. Letting self-image hold me back. I'm struggling to fix it. Good. Practice. Go back to day 2 and really work on self-image. / if you come to Unfuck Yourself Academy, we have like 4 modules all on healing self-image. Good point about expanding your capacity energetically and asking for big things. Could you explain why things take a while to show up? Because of what I just talked about with your energy being able to need to be strong enough to hold the physical thing. Okay, cool. So everything that we desire, it is already within us. It is already within us. We do not need to go out and bring it in and search for it. It's already within us. The only thing in the way is our own limiting brain and neural pathways that have been built. Once again, not our fault. Things we took on from just influences. But if we want different, it is our responsibility to shift. Okay, so I want to leave some time for like questions. So what we're going to do is you're going to do that homework. That is your homework for day 5 is making a character, and what that character would do is then what you are going to do. This is essential. This is what is going to quantum leap you. And we've got to get our emotions behind it. We feel a feeling, we think a thought. It then creates an emotion. That emotion then creates the physical action we're going to take. We have 3 parts of the brain. One's connected to thoughts, one's connected to emotions, one's connected to physical action. When you start to change the emotions you're feeling, the thoughts you're thinking, and the actions you're taking, you're going to start to create a different outcome in your life. You're going to start to create a different reality in your life. One more thing I want to add to this, which like kind of giving 2 modules in one, and we really dive into this in Unfuck Yourself Academy, but if we are putting our desire on a pedestal, we will never access it because we're putting it above us. and we're making it fully good. But remember, everything in this universe has both good and bad. So the same amount of good that comes from accessing that desire, the same amount of bad comes with it. So we put money on a pedestal, but money is neutral. Money isn't good or bad. Money is just as bad, is just as much good as it is bad. We put our desired relationship on a pedestal. Our desired relationship is just as much good as it is bad. We put our dream business or brand or job on a pedestal. That dream, brand, business, or job is just as good as it is bad. If you, and we go into, in Unfuck Yourself Academy, we actually, I call it crushing your own dreams. We go into like neutralizing it, because when we neutralize it, we actually then get it. If we don't and we have like a want for it, we end up pushing it away. Remember, a want creates a needy energy pushes something away. So how we even access a desire is by not even wanting it. How we don't want it is we neutralize it. How we neutralize it is if we have too many elated emotions around it, we find the things that like wouldn't be so fun about it. So for example, there's a project right now that I'm working on. Really, really cool, potentially life-changing, and at the same time, fucking scary, and like I don't want to do it because I've neutralized it. Because it's, yes, it could be great for X amount of things, but also it could be really detrimental for X amount of things, or it could just be really not fun for X amount of things. So I've neutralized it so much that like I don't want it. And because I don't want it, but I'm like cool if I get it, but I'm cool if I also don't, like it's been just going so seamlessly. Like it's been so happening so easily, seamlessly, and effortlessly. I'm the queen. I love a good let's crush your own dreams moment. And everyone laughs, but I'm like, seriously, you've got to like take your own dreams off the pedestal. You've got to take your own desires off the pedestal, because they're only on a pedestal because we think they're going to mean something. So the part where you just feel those feelings now helps. And then also if you can see how it equally wouldn't be fun to have that, then you can take it off a pedestal. So someone asked me how to take their desired relationship off a pedestal. And I said, okay, well, and this was a girl who wanted to be with a man. And I was like, okay, well, yes, like we have all these great things about it. Of course, we already know that. So we already know the great things. So I go, okay, but like, you know, living with a man, like it's not maybe like it's clutter, or maybe now you've got to always answer someone, or maybe now you know what I mean? Like you then take it off a pedestal for the other things that aren't so fun that come with that. So same thing with money. Money is easily put on a pedestal. Well, what's the downside of getting a bunch of money? You don't know then if people are friends with you for your money or not. You then like might be more afraid that people are going to take it from you. You know what I'm saying? There's an equal amount of negatives and positives for each thing. If something's too far in the positive, it's too much of a want, it's too much on a pedestal, we've got to take it off the pedestal. We've got to bring it down off the pedestal. Now it's neutral. Now it's not so far out of reach, because now we don't fucking care if we have it or not. We don't fucking care if we have it or not. Then we end up creating that or better. That's something else to keep in mind. And we have tools in Unfuck Yourself Academy to do that. Start thinking about that now, but really focus on that character. Okay, let's get to some questions. Let's take the last 10 minutes. Any questions you have from the past few days, from the full workshop, from anything that we talked about today, any questions about UIA? I can even intuitively look in to a few things for a few people. Whatever you have, go ahead and start to type them in. We'll take some time, answer a few questions in here. While we wait for the questions to come in, once again, Unfuck Yourself Academy is opening for enrollment in 12 minutes. If you're listening to this live, if you're listening to this on the podcast or this recording, it is now open. It's only open for 7 days this time. Doors are only open for 7 days. And every year when doors close, someone's like, oh my gosh, like I want to come in. You can't. After doors close, they're closed. So get yourself in there. There's payment plan options available. The sales page is linked in my Instagram bio. We'll also link it in the email. We'll link it in the show notes of the podcast. You can go see testimonials. You can see everything you need to know, everything that's in there. You can go check it out. Okay. Whew, this one gets me like, oh my God, out of breath. Okay. This is like cardio day. Let's see. Why can I not put anything regarding money into play? I feel like money is too hard to come by. Good. Because, so for you personally, let me see. There's like a fear of it. There's a fear that it's never going to come back. So you've got to start treating money like a boyfriend. Okay. If you had a boyfriend, or maybe you did, if you had a boyfriend and he was leaving to go somewhere, you'd be like, well, are you going to come back? What are you doing? How long are you going to be gone? Are you going to come back? Like, you can't leave. You can't leave. I'm going to lock you away. He's going to fucking not want to be around you and run the other way. He's like, I don't want to be locked in the basement. I want to go to the gym and come back and not be questioned. You know what I'm saying? So money feels that way with you right now, specifically. Money feels like you are scared of it and you don't trust it and you hang on to it. So it doesn't want to flow through you, because money's like, I can't remember who said this, but someone said this one time, and I wish I remembered who it was because it's such a good quote. But if anyone knows, like, tell me. But someone said once, and I just saw it in a TikTok, so if anyone ever saw this TikTok, like, let me know. I wish I want to quote the person, but they said, money's like a high frequency slut. I was like, that's such a good way to put it. Money literally just likes to flow. It likes to go from you to you and over here, and it wants you to trust it. And when we trust it, it doesn't feel like it's being suffocated or locked away. When it comes to you, more will flow to you. Okay, let's see. Will you intuitively look in and see if I should email this casting about a show I auditioned for, or just leave it be? Don't email them. Leave it. And take the show off a pedestal. Take anything you think that show would bring you off a pedestal. Get in the character. Ask yourself, do you really desire the show, or do you desire how it's going to make you feel? Or both. So how would it make you feel? Start to feel those feelings now. And what are the negatives of getting on a show? I'll tell you right now, the negatives of getting on a show. You could, your face is out there for everyone to see. You say one thing, you could easily get canceled. You can't fucking go anywhere without anyone. Like, notice that you can't get away with anything anymore. Some tweet you wrote 20 years ago that you didn't know, anything like you weren't aware of, like, could get surfaced, and then everyone could hate. Like, it's a full situation. So take it off the pedestal, but don't email them until you do that. Okay, let's see. Would love an intuitive reading on why I'm not manifesting a dream relationship or money. Let me see. You're too focused on the lack of both of them. And there's a little bit of anger around relationships still that is ready to be healed before you would manifest one. Okay, let's see. Intuitively look in to what my current biggest, quote, block is, for lack of a better word. People pleasing. So feeling, especially in romantic relationships. So feeling like you have to kind of dim yourself and kind of be quiet so other people involved aren't triggered. High frequency slut. I'm thinking of the strip club scene from The Big Short right now. Money is just a high. I wish I could remember who said that. If anyone knows, let's give them credit because it's so good. Okay. When thinking about your ideal partner, is it okay to think about their nationality as well, or is it better to be neutral? Don't think about their nationality. Think about how you want to feel. So if you feel attracted toward a certain nationality, just say, I choose to feel like someone I am insanely physically attracted to. There's chronic pain in your right wrist because you're beating yourself up about your flexibility on how you take action in life. You feel like you have to be very like this, like very like ducks in a row, very strict. And you're beating yourself up if you like miss a day of doing something, or you feel like you didn't get enough done. And so soul and higher self are asking for more intuitive based action and flow, and unconditionally loving yourself no matter how much you do that day. Okay, oh, so many questions. Okay, let me get like 2 more in here. Thank you, that sounds like me. I'm glad that resonated, but yeah, we don't need to people please anymore. The self-love and image healing and Unfuck Yourself Academy will for sure help with that. As a psychic medium, does eating meat interfere with your connection with the spirit realm? I'm conflicted with this. No, definitely not. Eating meat definitely does not inflict with that at all. I eat a lot of meat. I just energetically, we do take on the energy and emotions of obviously whatever we eat. So I clear it. I connect it to gold light. I connect it to pink light. I see one more white light coming down. I set the intent, it cleans, clears, charges the meat to 1,000 frequency. And then once the meat's cleared, I can totally eat it just fine. That resonates. Thank you. You're so welcome. Glad that resonated. Okay, let's do one more in here. Let's see. I'm going to just scroll, see whatever my finger stops on. What's the best way to trust your intuition when it comes to starting a business? I've sat on the idea of coaching, but I constantly feel like I can't or I wouldn't be successful. Good. So obviously that's what's coming up for you right now. The limiting beliefs of I can't, Sasha won't be successful. Play the why game with yourself to get to the root cause. But since you're asking, I can just channel the root cause for you. So, well, obviously this, you don't need intuition to do this, but obviously it is like a self-image thing. Obviously there's like a lack of connection to your full potential as a soul, but that came from around when you were like 3, and like the main male figure in your life who was raising you, you took on this feeling from that was like never good enough kind of feeling. And so there's just now been continued a feeling of like never good enough. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you think this is cool, imagine inside a Unfuck Yourself Academy live Q&A where we have a full hour where I literally intuitively look into like as many questions as I can. We get like really, really deep into it in there. Okay. Ooh, what's one thing? Oh, thank you. Wow. Good. I'm glad that resonated, that last read. What's one thing the collective needs to know right now? Ooh, good question. What's one thing the collective in here needs to know right now? You're on the brink of it. So a lot of us are feeling like, oh, I don't know, like, does this work for me? Like, I've seen it work for other people, but does it work for me? Just like I said, we can't do something for like 5 or 6 days and then expect a completely different life, physical reality change. You're on the brink of it. Like they keep saying, you're on the brink of it. So you got to keep going. Right when you feel like you want to quit is when people quit, and it's like right over here. So right when you feel like you want to quit is like right before really cool shifts happen. So keep going, keep committing to yourself, keep doing whatever it takes, one quality that I embody that I just really love about myself is that I have extreme tenacity. And it is why I have created the things in my life that I've created so quickly, because I have taken leaps to do things before I ever had the physical means to do it, before I ever even had anything that made sense to do it. And I've never quit on myself, ever, which is why I've been able to shift things in my reality so quick, because of that extreme tenacity. So that word's coming through too, like tenacity. I do I have done and I will do whatever it fucking takes to get the outcome I want. So for me, everyone's different, but for me, I would go negative in my bank account. I would move when it didn't look like I should. I would always do things as a next level version of myself, even if my physical reality, it wouldn't make sense to do it right away. But then I would do those things and my physical reality would catch up. So extreme commitment to yourself, whatever that looks like for you, and tenacity is really what's coming through for the collective right now. Okay, you guys, it has been a fucking honor. I might cry. I always cry at the end of things. It has been a fucking honor to be in everyone's energy in here the past 5 days. Like, what an incredible group. I can just feel all your love, all your willingness, all your desire to access your soul potential. And that's all I could ever ask for out of people I get to spend 5 days with, is your incredible drive to be connected to the beautiful, beautiful essence of your soul is the biggest honor ever to me. Thank you so much for spending the last 5 days here with me. It has been such a fucking blessing. And if you would have told me 3 years ago, even when I first started this, that we would be here and talking about this all together and there'd be this many people like wanting to shift themselves, like I would have not believed you. So what an incredible, incredible honor, and you're making me cry. You're making me cry. I love every single one of you so fucking much. I'm so fucking happy for you and excited for you. If this is all you do, incredible, this works not for the week. If you join Unfuck Yourself Academy, I cannot wait to fucking see you. Hey, Justin, everyone that's Justin, my boyfriend, say, hey, Justin. I cannot wait to fucking see you. And I could go on and on. Do we want me to? I could go on for 10 more minutes about how much I'm so inspired by everybody in here. What a beautiful fucking group of souls, and your dedication to yourself is impeccable. So many people avoid the inner work. So many people avoid the brain gym and the brain reprogramming, and you guys have all committed to that. So please keep up with these tools. Even if this workshop's all you do, please keep up with these tools. And selfishly, I truly hope to see every single one of you in the Unfuck Yourself Academy, because I'm gonna miss you a lot. So hopefully I get to see you in there. I get to see you in the lives. I get to see you in the community. And Unfuck Yourself Academy is now officially open for enrollment. It is 12/02. And I really, really hope to see you in there. Remember, if you're on the waitlist, you have a special code. If you're on my email list, you have a special code. And we will announce the winners of the prizes literally as soon as I get off here in like 2 minutes. So keep an eye out on my story, my Instagram story. I'm announcing the winners on my Instagram story, and doors are gonna be open for 7 days. I love everyone in here so, so much. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me. What an honor. What a fucking honor. Thank you. I love you. I will see you in the Instagram DMs. I will see you hopefully in Unfuck Yourself Academy, selfishly, because I'll miss you. Okay, bye everybody. Mwah, I love you. Stay tuned on my Instagram story. We're gonna announce the winners in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Keep an eye out. Stay on, watch my Instagram story so you can know what's going on. Okay, I'll tag the winners, and then the winners can DM me to claim their prize. All right, everyone. Mwah, I love you.